This is the story of the beginning of the Armadillos. It's a true story, and it happened just so. Long ago, in the high and far-off times, there was a stickly, prickly hedgehog, and he lived on the banks of the turbid Amazon, eating shelly snails and things. And he had a friend, a slow, solid tortoise, who lived on the banks of the turbid Amazon, eating green lettuces and things. But also, and at the same time, there was a painted jaguar, and he ate everything he could catch. When he couldn't catch deer or monkeys, he would eat frogs and beetles. And when he couldn't catch frogs and beetles, he went to his mother jaguar, and she told him how to catch hedgehogs and tortoises. Son, said his mother ever so many times, graciously waving her tail, when you find a hedgehog, you must drop him into the water, and then he will uncoil and you can eat him. When you catch a tortoise, you must scoop him out of his shell with your paw. One beautiful night, the painted jaguar found stickly, prickly hedgehog and slow and solid tortoise. They couldn't run away, so Stickly Prickly curled himself up, and Slow and Solid drew his head and feet into his shell. Now listen to me, you two, 'cause this is very important. My mother said that when I meet a hedgehog, I am to drop him in the water, and then he will uncoil. And when I meet a tortoise, I am to scoop him out of his shell with my paw. Now, which of you is hedgehog and which is tortoise? Are you sure of what your mummy told you? Said Stickly Prickly Hedgehog. Are you quite sure? Perhaps she said that when you uncoil a tortoise, you must shell him out of the water with a scoop. And when you paw a hedgehog, you must drop him on the shell.
Are you sure of what your mummy told you?
Said Slow and Solid Tortoise.
Are you quite sure? Perhaps she said that when you water a hedgehog, you must drop him into your paw, and when you meet a tortoise, you must shell him till he uncoils.
I don't think it was at all like that, said Painted Jaguar. Please say that again, more distinctly. When you scoop water with your paw, you uncoil it with a hedgehog.
But, said Slow and Steady, when you paw your meat, you drop it into a tortoise with a scoop. Now do you understand?
You are making my spots ache. Just tell me simply, which of you is hedgehog and which is tortoise? I shan't tell you, but you can scoop me out of my shell if you like. Aha, said Painted Jaguar. Now I know that you are tortoise. Now I know that he isn't tortoise at all.
But I am tortoise. Your mother was quite right. She said you were to scoop me out of my shell with your paw. Begin.
What'll happen if I do? Said Jaguar.
I don't know, because I've never been scooped out of my shell before. If you want to see me swim away, you've only to drop me into the water.
I don't believe you, said Painted Jaguar. You've mixed up all the things my mother told me, till I don't know whether I'm on my head or my painted tail. She told me to drop one of you two into the water. You seem so anxious to be dropped in that I think really you do not want to be. So jump in and be quick about it.
I warn you, your mummy won't be pleased.
If you say another word about my mother, said Painted Jaguar, I'll... But he never finished the sentence. He watched speechless as Slow and Solid happily swam over to the far bank, where both he and Stickly Prickly were safely out of reach of poor, puzzled, painted Jaguar, who was very upset and went roaring home to his mummy to tell her all about it. "Son, son," said his mother ever so many times, graciously waving her tail, "what have you been doing that you should not have done?" "Well," sobbed Painted Jaguar, "I tried to scoop something that said it wanted to be scooped out of its shell, and now my paw is full of prickles." "You must have tried to scoop a hedgehog. You should have dropped him in the water." "I did that to the other thing, and he swam away, and I haven't had anything to eat all day, and I'm ever so hungry." "Son, son," said his mother, graciously waving her tail, "a hedgehog curls up in a ball, and his prickles stick out every which way at once, and he cannot swim." "I don't like this old lady one little bit," said Stickly Prickly. "That description was far too clear. Even Painted Jaguar will not forget that." "A tortoise cannot curl himself," Mother Jaguar went on, "but he can draw his legs and head into his shell, and he is a good swimmer." Painted Jaguar went off to the banks of the turbid Amazon, saying to himself, "Can't curl, but can swim, slow, solid, that's him. Curls up, but can't swim, stickly, prickly, that's him. He'll never forget that. Whatever can we do?" Thought Slow and Solid.
How about if you were able to swim and I were able to curl up? That would fool Painted Jaguar.
"Excellent idea," said Stickly Prickly. "Let's start practicing now."
"Look," said Tortoise, "I can wrap my hind legs round my ears."
"Excellent," said Hedgehog, "but it's straining your back plates a little."
"Oh," said Slow and Solid, "I've noticed that your prickles seem to be melting into one another."
When morning came, they found they were both quite different from what they'd been before. "Oh, won't Painted Jaguar be surprised?" they laughed. "Let's go and find him." "Good morning," said Stickly Prickly. "And how is your dear mummy this morning?" "She's quite well, thank you. But you must forgive me if I do not at this precise moment recall your name. Don't you remember what your mummy told you? Can't curl but can swim. Stickly Prickly, that's him. Curls up but can't swim. Slow, solid, that's him." "Mother, Mother," said Painted Jaguar, "there are two new animals by the turbid Amazon today. The one you said couldn't swim can, and the one you said couldn't curl does. And they are rolling round and round, and I'm ever so confused." "Son, son," said Mother Jaguar, "a hedgehog is a hedgehog, and a tortoise is a tortoise, and can never be anything else." "But it isn't a hedgehog, and it isn't a tortoise. It's a little bit of both, and I don't know its proper name." "Nonsense," said Mother Jaguar. "Everything has its proper name. I shall call it Armadillo till I find out the real one, and I should leave it alone if I were you." So Painted Jaguar did as he was told, especially about leaving it alone. And ever since that day, all along the banks of the turbid Amazon, every hedgehog and every tortoise has been called Armadillo. precisely like Stickly, Prickly, Slow, and Steady, that grew to be the first armadillo in the world. This is the story of how the camel got his hump. It's a true story, and it happened just so. Long ago, in the high and far-off times, when the world was new and all, there was an undiscovered sandy desert. And in the middle of the undiscovered sandy desert lived a excruciatingly bad-tempered, conceited, lazy camel. He stood all day eating milkweed and prickles and things, gazing into a pool of water, admiring his long legs, his droopy eyelids, and curvy neck. But he was particularly proud of his smooth, flat back. Come on, Camel. It's time you put that back of yours into some proper work, said the horse on the first Monday morning of the world. Hump, said the camel. Come on, Camel. It's time you learned to fetch and carry, said the dog on the first Monday morning of the world. Hump, said the camel. Come on, Camel. It's time you helped to plow, said the ox on the first Monday morning of the world. Hump, said the camel. At the end of that first working day in the world, the man gathered the horse and the dog and the ox together and said, "Thank you all for working so hard. I have had words with that hump thing out there in the sandy desert, but he refuses to help. As there is much to do, I'm afraid you must all work double time in future to make up for his idleness." That made the three very angry with that excruciatingly worthless camel. But they did as the man asked and worked double time all through the first Tuesday in the world and all through the first Wednesday in the world. But by the first Thursday in the world, they were all very tired and very, very angry with that most excruciatingly conceited, idle hump thing out in the desert. So they held a powwow or palaver to decide what to do about it. Hump, laughed the camel, and carried on chewing idly. "We cannot go on like this," panted the dog. "If only the djinn in charge of all deserts were here, I'm sure he could help us." Presently, and at once, the djinn in charge of all deserts came rolling up. of all deserts, said the dog. Is it right for any one person to be idle? What with the world being so new and all? And that other people should have to work twice as hard to make up for him? Certainly not, said the gin. Well, said the horse, there's a thing in the middle of your undiscovered sandy desert with long legs and flat back, and he hasn't done a thing these past 3 days. I asked him to put his back into some proper work on Monday morning. And what did he reply? Asked the gin. Humph. All he ever says is, humph, said the dog. I asked him to help fetch and carry. And what did he say to that? Said the gin. Humph, said the ox. It's the only thing he does say. I asked him to help with the plowing. And I suppose he said humph, said the gin of all deserts. Well, I bet you all the gold in Arabia that it's my flat-backed, conceited camel to whom you've been referring. If you three will kindly wait there a minute, I'll go and hump him out of his idleness. Off rolled the gin in charge of all deserts, up to that excruciatingly idle camel, who was, of course, admiring himself as usual. Now, my long and flat-backed friend, said the gin, what's this I hear about you doing no work, what with the world so new and all? Humph, said the camel. That is rather rude, said the gin, and I shouldn't say that too often if I were you. Now listen, you have given the three a lot of extra work to do on account of your excruciating idleness. Aren't you just a little bit sorry? Humph, said the camel. This is my last warning, said the gin. Use that word again and it will be once too often. Now how about putting in a good, honest day's work like everyone else? And the camel said humph again, but it was indeed once too often, for what has happened to my beautiful flat back? Gasped the camel. That is your very own hump that you have brought upon yourself by being bad-tempered and idle. And now you are really going to put that new back of yours to work. But how can I, whined the camel? It's all lumpy and will get in the way. Quite the reverse, grinned the gin. That magic hump of yours holds 3 days' supply of food. Everyone else in the world has worked hard during Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You did not. So you owe everyone 3 days' work. Now, thanks to your hump, you can catch up on all of your tasks without having to stop to eat milkweed, prickles, and things. And of course, there will be no time to admire your new back in pools of water. You'll be too busy using it. And ever since that day, the camel has worked as hard as other animals. At times, he even works harder. As they stop to eat, he carries on, thanks to his hump, magically turned into a hump. But he is still most bad-tempered and conceited, just like that first excruciatingly idle camel in the world. This is the story of the sing-song of Old Man Kangaroo. It's a true story, and it happened just so. Long ago, in the high and far-off times when the world was new, there was the great continent of Australia. And in the middle of the great continent of Australia was an outcrop. And on top of the outcrop was Old Man Kangaroo. He looked a very different animal from the shape we know today. He was gray, and he was woolly, and his pride was inordinate. He danced and sang on top of the outcrop, hoping everyone would see and hear him and think him a wonderful animal. But nobody did. So he went to see the little god Nka. He went to see little god Nka even before Nka had waken up at 6 o'clock in the morning. "Ho there, Nka," sang out Old Man Kangaroo most rudely. "Make me even more wonderful and different from all other animals by 5 o'clock this afternoon." Up jumped little god Nka and shouted, "Go away, you inordinately proud kangaroo." And Kangaroo did, but his pride was not hurt one bit. He continued to sing and dance on top of his outcrop, hoping that a few people would notice how special he was. But not even a few people did. So he went to see Middle God Nkwing. He went to see Middle God Nkwing just after Nkwing had had his breakfast at 8 o'clock in the morning. "Ho there, Nkwing," sang out Old Man Kangaroo most rudely. "Make me popular and sought after by 5 this afternoon." Up jumped Middle God Nkwing and shouted, "Go away, you inordinately proud kangaroo." And Kangaroo did, but his pride was not damaged at all. He kept on singing and dancing, all gray and woolly on top of his outcrop in the middle of the great continent of Australia, hoping that at least one person would notice how wonderful he was. But not one person did. So he went to see the big god Nkong. He went to see the big god Nkong even before Nkong had had his dinner at 10 o'clock in the morning. "Ho there, Nkong," sang out Old Man Kangaroo most rudely. "Make me the most different and wonderfully run-after animal in the whole of Australia by 5 o'clock this afternoon." Up jumped big god Nkong and shouted, "Yes, I will, you inordinately proud kangaroo." And he called for Dingo, Yellow Dog Dingo, and he said, "Wake up, Dingo." Do you see that fine gentleman dancing and singing on that sandbank? Well, he wants to be different and so popular that he is truly run after. So go ahead, Dingo, make him so. Up jumped Dingo, yellow dog Dingo, and truly ran after Kangaroo. Off shot the proud Kangaroo on his 4 little gray woolly legs like a bunny. He ran through the desert. He ran through the mountains. He ran through the salt pans. He ran through the reed beds. He ran through the blue gums. He ran till his front legs ached. But behind him ran Dingo, yellow dog Dingo, always hungry, grinning like a rat trap, never getting nearer, never getting farther. He ran and ran after Kangaroo. Still ran Kangaroo, old man Kangaroo. He ran through the ti trees. He ran through the mulga. He ran through the long grass. He ran through the short grass. He ran till his hind legs ached. Still ran Dingo, yellow dog Dingo, hungrier and hungrier, grinning like a horse collar, never getting nearer, never getting farther, till at last they came to the Wolgang River. Now, there wasn't any bridge, and there wasn't any ferry boat, and Kangaroo didn't know how to get over. So he stood on his hind legs, and he hopped. He hopped through the flinders, and he hopped through the cinders. He hopped through the deserts in the middle of Australia. He hopped like a kangaroo. Still ran Dingo, yellow dog Dingo, very much bewildered, very much hungry, and wondering when in the world old man Kangaroo would stop. Then up jumped big God Kong and said, "Hold still, it's 5 o'clock. Down sat Dingo, poor dog Dingo, always hungry and very tired. Down sat Kangaroo and said, "Thank goodness, that's finished." Then said Kong, "Come now, you inordinately proud Kangaroo. Why don't you thank yellow dog Dingo for granting your wish?" Then said Kangaroo, tired old Kangaroo, "He's chased me out of my childhood home. He's chased me out of my sing-song voice. He's chased me out of my regular shape, so that I am very strange indeed." "Forgive me," said Kong, "but I seem to remember at 10 o'clock this morning you requested that I should make you the most different and truly run-after animal in the whole of Australia by 5 o'clock. And I have done so, with the help of faithful yellow dog Dingo." "That's all very fine," said starving dog Dingo. "But what may I have for my tea?" "I don't know," said big God Kong. "It's time for my bath. Come and ask me about it tomorrow." So there they were, yellow dog Dingo and old man Kangaroo, alone on a sandbank in the middle of the great continent of Australia, blaming each other for their predicament. And so it is today that Dingo Dog still chases Kangaroo just like he chased that first gray, woolly, inordinately proud old man kangaroo in the world. This is the story of the crab that played with the sea. It's a true story, and it happened just so. Long ago, in the high and far-off times, there was the time of the very beginning. This was the time that the eldest magician was getting the world ready for all to enjoy. First, he got the earth ready. Then he got the sea ready. Then one by one, he showed every animal in the world the part it should play in the pattern of things. And by evening, he had told just about all the birds and beasts and fishes the play they were to play. Then he came upon man with his little girl daughter and said, "Now it is time for you to play your part. I will make all the animals in the world obey you if you promise to always care for them properly." "I promise that I shall, and my little girl daughter will help me." Lurking nearby was the gigantic Pa'u-ama, king of crabs. "Huh," he thought, "I will never obey this son of Adam. I will play my own play alone in the deepest water in the world." But the little girl daughter saw him slip away and kept the memory of it safe in her mind's eye. Thinking that he had given orders to absolutely every animal on Earth, the eldest magician decided to see that all the animals were playing properly. He looked north to the elephant. "Is this right?" said the elephant. "That is quite right," said the eldest magician, and created the great Himalayan mountains. He looked east to the cow. "Is this right?" "That is quite right," said the eldest magician, and created the Indian and Sahara deserts. He looked west to the beaver. "Is this right?" said the beaver. "Quite right," said the eldest magician, and created the Everglades in Florida. He looked south to the turtle. "Is this right?" said the turtle. "That is quite right," said the eldest magician, and created the beautiful Malay archipelago. "Oh, son of Adam, are all the animals obedient to you?" "Yes," said the man. "And are you taking care of them?" "Yes," said the man. "Is all the earth obedient to you?" "Yes," said the man. "Is all the sea obedient to you?" "No," said the man. "Once a day and once a night, the sea runs up the Perak River, causing much harm and alarm. And once a day and once a night, the river runs back down to the sea, leaving death and destruction." "Really? Well, this is a very bad thing. Somebody is playing with the sea. Who dares to disobey my commands?" Then all the birds and beasts and fishes said, "Not us, eldest magician. We play the plays you taught us, but none of us would ever play with the sea." "Oh, fisher of the moon," boomed the eldest magician, "are you playing with the sea?" "No," said the fisherman. "I am too busy trying to catch the world on my hook." "And you, rat of the moon, are you playing with the sea?" "No," said the rat. "I'm too busy trying to bite through the line of this old fisherman." Then the little girl daughter said, "At the time of the very beginning, I saw one beast who went away naughtily into the sea before you had taught him his play. He was huge and round, with strong armor upon his back. His eyes grew on stalks, and he walked sideways like this." "Ah, wisest of humans," said the eldest magician, "I think it's time we talk to Pauama." "Come out, Pauama," called the eldest magician, "and explain what you have been doing." "Go away. I'm doing no harm. Once a day and once a night I go out to look for food. Once a day and once a night I return. Surely that is of no consequence." "Look," said the magician, "your movements are of great consequence. When you go out, the waters of the sea sink, and the rivers shrink back from their shores. When you come back, the waters of the sea rise and flood the land, causing much harm and alarm." "Ho, ho," said Pauama, "I never knew I was so important. In future, I will go out 7 times a day, and the waters shall never be still." And the eldest magician grew very angry. "You know that I cannot force you to play properly because you escaped me at the very beginning. However, I could make a bargain with you, so come up and face me, unless you are afraid, of course." "I am the most important creature in the world. Tell me of your bargain." "Attend closely," said the eldest magician, "for the first part begins like this." "Oh, no," gasped Pauama. "Without my hard shell, I am not important at all. I am so soft that everyone, from sharks to dogfish, will try to eat me. And I'm so big that the only place to hide is in the deepest water at the heart of the sea. Oh, please, please tell me the rest of your bargain." "Well, I could make every hole and bunch of weed a safe place for you to hide. I could make the dry land a safe place for you to scuttle around in," said the man. "I could give you these golden scissors so that you could hunt for food and defend yourself," said the girl daughter. "That is all very well," said the not-so-important King Crab, "but without my hard shell, all these things are of no use to me. Tell me what I must do as my part of the bargain." "You must accept your shell back again," said the magician. "But this time it will remain hard for only 11 months of the year. During the 12th month, it will go all soft as it is now, to remind you that I am the all-powerful maker of the world, and you are only a crab, and should play your part along with everyone else." "Well, that all sounds fair enough," said Pauama. "I shall keep my side of the bargain and accept my shell back again." "And we," smiled the magician, "will keep our side of the bargain too." Then the tiny Pauama, smallest of all king crabs, said, "I can hide in the seaweed. I can breathe the fresh air. I can crack nuts." "That was well done," said the man. "But now, without Pauama's great wave to help us, I shall have to paddle back home, and it's such a long way." "You are lazy," said the magician, so you and your children's children will always be called Malazy, the lazy people. But I owe your little girl daughter a kindness. So, fisherman, pull this lazy man's canoe home with your line." "Was that right?" said the fisherman. "That was quite right," said the eldest magician. "See now that you pull the sea twice a day and twice a night to save the Malazy from having to paddle in and out of the Perak River." And ever since that day, the moon has pulled the sea up and down in what we call tides. And as for Pauama's children's children, they scuttle safely from seaweed to stones, frightening off naughty children who try to catch them. And once a year, their hard shells turn soft, precisely as the eldest magician warned it would be when he cut Pauama down to size. This is the story of the butterfly that stamped. It's a true story, and it happened just so. Long ago, in the high and far-off times when the world was nearly new, there was a lovely garden full of orange trees and camphor trees and roses. And in the middle of that great and golden palace were 999 queens. And in the middle of the 999 queens was the most wise and benevolent sovereign, King Suleiman bin Daud. And some of his wives were nice, but some were simply horrid. And the horrid ones quarreled with the nice ones and made them horrid too. And then they all quarreled with Suleiman bin Daud, and that was horrid for him. He was, of course, an extremely powerful king. He had only to turn the ring on his finger to summon up 4 great gull-winged jinns, who could easily have magicked all those 999 quarrelsome wives into white mules of the desert, or camels, or even pomegranate seeds. But he didn't. He knew that would be boasting and showing off. So when the quarreling became too great, he would slip away to seek out his first and most loved wife, Balkis, the most beautiful. "Oh, my lord and light of my eyes," said Balkis, "please turn the ring on your finger and make a magic to show those quarrelsome queens how great and important you are." "Oh, my lady and delight of my life," said Suleiman bin Daud, "I cannot do as you ask, for that would be mere boastful show. Perhaps if I sit alone beneath my favorite camphor tree, I might come upon the answer." Balkis loved Suleiman bin Daud very much, so she hid where she could watch over him. Suddenly, the silence was broken by the sound of quarreling. Suleiman bin Daud looked up, expecting to see some of his worrisome wives. But no, it was 2 little butterflies.
"Really, wife, I don't know how you dare to keep on insulting me so,"
said one little butterfly.
"Don't you know that I have only to stamp with my foot, and all Suleiman bin Daud's great golden palace and his lovely garden would immediately vanish in a clap of thunder?"
Then, for the first time in years, Sulayman bin Daud forgot about his quarrelsome wives and started to laugh at the little butterfly's boast and said, "Little brother, please come here." The butterfly was dreadfully frightened, but wishing to impress his wife, he tried to look brave and did as he was bid. "Little brother," whispered the king, "why did you tell that enormous fib to your wife?"
"Oh, king, live forever," gasped the butterfly. "Please forgive me, but she is always quarreling with me, and I just had to think of something to stop her. You know what wives are like."
"Yes," smiled Sulayman bin Daud. "I know, little brother."
"See where your boasting has got you? The great king heard you, and it serves you right for telling lies." "Heard me?" said the butterfly. "Of course he heard me. I meant him to hear me. I'm not frightened of anyone." "Indeed," said his wife. "Well, what did he say?" "Well, between you and me, my dear, he asked me not to stamp. After all, his palace and garden must have cost him a great deal, so as a kindness to him, I promised I wouldn't." "Gracious," said his wife, and sat quite still.
Sulayman bin Daud just had to laugh at the impudence of the bad little butterfly. And Balkis smiled, and she thought, through my lord's selfless care for these two little creatures, I may find a way to save him from the incessant quarreling of his queens. "Little sister, come here, please. Do you believe what your husband said?"
"Oh, queen, live forever," fluttered the butterfly's wife. "I pretended to be impressed just to keep him happy. You know what husbands are."
"I know, little sister. Next time he threatens to stamp, tell him to do so. It will put a stop to his boasting once and for all." Away flew the butterfly's wife to her husband, and soon they were quarreling worse than ever.
"Remember," warned the butterfly, "remember what I can do if I stamp my foot." "I don't believe you. You couldn't bend a blade of grass. Go ahead. I dare you to do it. Stamp. Stamp." "She wants me to stamp," panted the butterfly. "You know I can't do it. Oh, help me, please. She'll laugh at me to the end of my days."
"She will never laugh at you or quarrel needlessly with you again." "Oh, slave," said Sulayman bin Daud, "when this gentleman stamps his foot, you will make my palace and gardens disappear in a clap of thunder. When he stamps again, you will bring them back carefully."
"Oh, there you are," cried the butterfly's wife. "I thought you were going to stamp. Go on then, stamp. Stamp."
And the butterfly did.
"Oh, gracious," gasped the butterfly's wife. "I'll never doubt your word again. Oh, please put everything back to normal."
So the butterfly, who was nearly as frightened as his wife, stamped again. out of the palace. "Oh, head queen," they gasped. One minute we were busily quarreling in the palace, and the next we were in a great thundering darkness. Then Balkis, the most beautiful and wise, said, "It is nothing. A butterfly complained to our king about his quarrelsome wife. So it pleased our Lord Suleiman bin Daud to teach her a lesson." "Oh," gasped the queens, "if this great deed is done by our king on account of a little quarrelsome butterfly, how much greater will be his revenge on us who have vexed him for many years with our incessant quarreling." And they tiptoed back to the palace, mousy, quiet. "Oh, my lady, and jewel of my happiness," said the king, "when did this marvelous thing happen? I have been so busy jesting with a butterfly that I don't know how this came to pass." And Balkis told him, and they lived happily and peacefully forever and ever, as did the butterfly's wife and the boastful little butterfly himself, the first and last butterfly ever in the world to stamp.